once upon a time, I did a whole audio where I like wrote out the little things here, and then I started trying to do a PSA, and I'm so scrambled today that it just came out not how I wanted to explain because I think I was phrasing things poorly because I'm always really nervous. It's almost like I have scrupulosity OCD. Um, and then I used my actual name to refer to myself, and I was like, okay, Wings to Fly, we're shutting off the video. And so I just deleted it. Meanwhile, random PSA, please do not use the term East Indian to refer to anybody who is from India, anything cultural that is from India, any language that is from India, any accent of from languages spoken in India. I found this out because I was talking about different accents in a different video, in a different ramble, which is also now deleted. And I used that phrase, not, and then I suddenly went, wait a second, I've been using that phrase that I thought I had coined. Well, not that I had coined, but I came up with it myself. But humans being humans, people come up with things. I'd come up with it myself because I grew up in a family where we watched a ton of westerns, and so when I got into my teens and found out, oh, descendants from of those who were the indigenous peoples of the Americas want to be called Native American. Some of them, like a preferred term to speak of those who are descendants of the indigenous peoples of the Americas is Native Americans. That is respectful. It is not necessarily what everybody who is a native would like to be called. There are some different terms, but generally speaking, that is a term that is thumbs up. So I found this out in my teens and started exclusively using that when I spoke with people who are Native American. Meanwhile, then we're doing like world history studies or whatever, very randomly. Like we didn't have like world history studies that were like, we would just take like bits and pieces from modern history. Like after the Civil War didn't really exist in my timeline super much until my senior year in high school. But like freshman year, we do like colloquials with other homeschool families anyway. And so we were like picking and choosing different things that happened in history. And so we were studying about things of Indian history. And it was just, sometimes people are very, very slow to change how they, to change in talking respectfully about other people with whom they share the planet. And so I'm over here being very, very, I only refer to people who are Native American as Native Americans. And then, of course, I'm referring to people who are from India as Indians. But again, grew up with a mom who's like one of her special interests was like old-timey cowboy movies from the 30s through the 50s, which, yes, so many of them were just B movies that were not great. And like there's some actors from that time and from those kinds of movies that are delightful and great and wonderful and also not problematic, but so many of them are problematic and disrespectful and just uncourteous, discourteous, and not aware of like problematic socialization that happens of just negativity and racism and just disrespect. And so anyway, so referring to Native Americans versus Indians would get complicated for, sometimes people in my family. And so I coined, I came up with a way that in my mind could designate people who are from India from the misnomer that my family is still called people who are Native American. And I hope I'm phrasing all this right, and also I'm sick, so I'm so sorry if any of this is phrased like awkwardly. I don't think it is. If it is, please let me know. I've already deleted like 2 rambles that I realized I had used the phrase that I don't want to use again, and that I'm doing a PSA to be like, so let's all remember not to say this. The phrase East Indian is Eurocentric and it is what's it called? Not reminiscent of it. Like it goes back to the whole horrible, all the colonizing, the white supremacy takeover colonizing culture that still exists in so many brains today, but really played even more of a role in world politics in the 1800s, and well, obviously before that. So, oh my gosh, in the 1800s, what are we talking about? For centuries. Breathe, Wings to Fly. Breathe. Yeah, breathing is good. So, yes, anytime that you're referring to the country of India and anybody or anything that is from the country of India, just saying Indians or India, obviously, Indians, Indian, from India, obviously, like, that is the proper term. But if you're talking with someone who's stupid about being respectful to Native Americans, you can use the phrase Asian Indian to refer to people or cultural things that are from India, a part of Indian culture. So yeah, I found that out from an online ramble, or an online rabbit hole that I went down, per using the wrong phrase in a ramble and suddenly going, that's a phrase. I didn't know that was like a phrase that it makes sense, but that was something, that was a designative phrase that I'd come up with growing up to try and like forestall the confusion, which it didn't, because trying to prevent people from being disrespectful just half the time doesn't work. If you're trying to help people who are not self-aware and who are more self-focused, do that. Anyway, like I said, I'm kind of sick today, so I'm feeling a little bit more depressed, so feeling a little bit more negative, maybe, about rude people. And some of those rude people are people from the past. Yes, we are very glad that we individuated. So anyway, that was the PSA. And I just wanted to start and say it as... I never say anything efficiently, it seems. Okay, we're going to try not to do self-disparaging stuff, because I'm very tired. And I was noticing, like, the more... if I'm physically... The worse that I'm doing physically, like, the more depressed I am, the worse I'm doing mentally, like stress, or even if I'm like just feeling even if I'm feeling like a little more depressed, but it's not like, if I'm not like physically doing real bad, then like that's, if I'm kind of not doing super well mentally, that's when like the generalized anxiety disorder and the panic disorder are like, but then if physically I'm not doing super well, then the major depression disorder is fun, except it's not. So I've got apparently 7 different types of content that I want to be posting on YouTube, and some of them are also being posted on Instagram. And so there's 7 days a week, and I'm like, oh my gosh, of course, let's do one a day. And bold of me to assume that what the world needs, or that like, just, oh my gosh. I was joking about this in the other video, because, like, people who have ADHD or are neurospicy in any way, what are your ways of overcoming, like, executive dysfunction? What are your ways of, like, getting stuff done? All these people, they have all these things. Wings to fly, what's yours? Oh, I created this whole little, like, online community of little goblin friends, and I just decided that, I was gonna act as if, there's this kind of thing, and so I, like, do that, and then I turn on little ramble things, or turn on a video, and then I just kind of ramble, but it's like body doubling, and it's fun. Okay, moving on to things that are actually helpful for the universe. So, yeah, hope you... If there is anybody listening to this, which I kind of know, hello, thank you, welcome, and also just please know that me making this is helping me. You're being a body double for me. The concept of you in concept is being a body double for me. So I'm trying to figure out what days to schedule what content for. Because guess what? You can schedule reels and shorts on Instagram and YouTube. But so, of course, I have to, I don't have obsessive-compulsive disorder at all. I don't have tendencies to just stress over the right way to do things for which there's no right way. There's no right way to do this. If you approach an intersection with a stoplight, there is a right way to handle this. Go if it's green, stop if it's red. There's some subjectivity in there when we come to yellow, but we're not talking about that right now. I know to stop if the light is red. Are there intrusive thoughts that come to my mind sometimes, like, oh my gosh, what if you didn't stop when the light was red? What if your brakes didn't work and all the things? Yes, because again, mental illness. But I can handle that. I can deal with it. Well, I can better handle that stuff now. I used to have panic attacks about it. Now I just recognize I'm feeling panic and try to work with anyway, this is the whole thing. Obsessive compulsive disorder is kind of difficult. Do I have more tea? I do. Glorious tea. I have a sinus infection. I keep being like, have I mentioned that in this video? No, this is a new one. I have a sinus infection, so like my throat is funky, but it's not like hurting, if that makes sense. Well, I mean, like it's a little sore, but it's not like I can't talk. And also I'm kind of lonely, so. Okay. So I was thinking in the last bit of rambling that I was doing, that we threw out because I was just rambling, I think, not incoherently, but very complicatedly, and then I did not refer to myself as Wings to Fly. And I do not have video. I can like shorten videos. That's the extent of my video editing skills. So the photo/thought posts that I've got going on Instagram. Oh yes, there was a video that I was putting together and scheduling on YouTube that had links in the description because I was talking about this little online game in the little ramble that I did. It actually wasn't a little one; it was a very long ramble. And YouTube was like, no, you cannot paste links in here. And like it had already been going all this like, you can have like access to these things once you have, you can either upload a photo ID, a video of yourself, or just wait 2 months. And I was like, I will wait 2 months, I guess. But then like, oh no, I was really worried about not being able to show the links. And so of course I just scrupulosity'd myself into like, okay, well I need to do something. I was not about to like upload my ID because that felt weird. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna randomly take a picture of that. And they're like, oh, we delete it in 2 years. I'm like, no. You don't get my driver's license photo and then you get to delete it in 2 years when I'm... Anyway, I was stressing probably in a way that I didn't need to. But then I found out that the 6-minute video was just like literally you looking at the camera. Like, you know those fingerprint things where you have to like do the different like versions of your fingerprint? Oh, it was like Face ID, like on your phone. If you have a mobile phone, it was like doing the little thing where you have to like look at all angles. It was kind of weird, but it was only like 6 seconds. And I was like, hey, my hair's dirty. Sure, let's do this. Why not? And so I did that. But now I have this thing on... Told you all that to tell you this. Now I have this... So apparently you can make posts as a channel owner, but like having a community is apparently different from that. And I don't really know what that means, but it was like very excited for me. Suddenly the channel was like, you can do a community. And I'm like, that's so cute. Both of you to assume, like me, that like, anyone's gonna be watching this. So anyway, apparently now I have a community post option. Ho, so fancy. I need to, like, I read the posts of other, like, of other creators. Wow, that was a little pretentious. I read the community post stuff of, like, ASMR creators on YouTube, and I think it's fun. I don't, generally speaking, post anything because I am shy and scared of taking up space. But, so yeah, I don't know what exactly that means, but I was like, hey, maybe I could put my little photo/thought posts. They're just like little nature photos and then like self-compassion or whatever little thought posts on Instagram that I've been kind of trying to do. I'm like, maybe I could put them on the tube. That apparently some people refer to YouTube as that. So now, that's one, because I'm thinking I could do that on Sunday, because these little like self-affirming, like, you can do this kind of little thought posts might help with like Sunday scary stuff, right? Like maybe that would help me as I'm there being like, hey, world, let's remember that self-compassion is a good thing. Maybe it'll, because sometimes this is just like, oh, that's right, Wings to Fly, self-compassion is a good thing. The struggle is real, folks. So that only leaves me 6 more types of content to figure out what day of the week these go on, because again, guys, don't underestimate how critical this is. Don't do it. Don't fall into the trap of underestimating how critical it is to figure out what day of the week. Is my tea gone? No, I have one more drink. Good stuff. So far I have had dandelion root tea, rooibos tea, and kukicha tea. Because tea is good, and I love it. And eating is dumb, and I don't always like it. Sometimes you're just like, I don't want to eat. Like, sometimes eating is fun, but a lot of the time, like, I've dealt with emotional eating for like a few years, and kind of realized it a couple years ago, like how much emotional eating I had become habitual for me, and started realizing, oh, when I eat because I'm anxious, this is what I'm feeling like. Okay, so that means I don't need to eat right now because I'm feeling anxious. I need to do something to help myself feel less anxious. So I started doing different things, right? So that's been very helpful over the last couple of years, and I've lost like 20 pounds, and it's been great. But the problem with that, not the problem, is just more annoying because now we're kind of back to how I used to feel about food, like when I was in my teens, which is like, yeah, there are things I enjoy eating, but also like the fact that you have to do it so much tends to feel like a necessary irritant. Because sometimes it's tiresome. Like, I don't want to chew and swallow and eat, and it's sensory sometimes. So now I'm kind of, like the last months, I'm kind of now dealing with that because I've pretty much, I think, gotten rid of a lot of the emotional eating stuff. I still have some of the like, oh, I'm socializing, I have to eat what they eat, even if it's wheat and dairy, which hate me. So there's some of the like the socializing, emotional eating still going on, which is probably actually more compulsive, more in the realm of compulsions. But so like I literally have over here, I've got 3 little Laura bars. Here guys, look. 1, 2, 3. Apple pie. Delicious. Even though I don't like apple pie, I like Laura bar apple pie. Peanut butter chocolate chip. Amazing. Cherry pie. I'm still questioning the cherry pie choice. I don't like fake cherry flavor because that's just yuck, medicine and all that gross stuff. But I love like real cherry flavor. So I was brave and I tried this because it's just 3 real ingredients. And it's like good, but like, yeah, it's just dates, almonds, and unsweetened cherries. Like maybe I'd prefer it if they had sweetened cherries. I don't know. Yeah, because these are just dates, peanuts, semi-sweet chocolate chips, and sea salt. Oh, that's so cute. They counted sea salt as, I mean, that is an ingredient. I'm now curious because it's like, oh, and see, this is maybe the problem. Like, the apple pie one has almonds, apples, walnuts, raisins, and cinnamon. Like, this is a whole flavor profile going on. And then in the peanut butter one, I mean, it's peanut butter and chocolate. Like, that's just kind of a great combo. So it's dates. I already read what was in here. But there's, like, again, flavor profile going on. This is just very almonds, dates, cherries. Like, could I get a bit of cinnamon? I don't know. Anyway, that was very unnecessary. So I've literally got those like looking at me, and the colors are kind of pretty. Like, it's a nice little color profile, and I'm just like, but then I have to eat them. But I could drink tea. We like tea. I even have, look, I literally am surrounding myself with food to try to be like, hey, we've got some of the shakes. It's getting to be like late morning. Maybe it'd be an idea to put food into the tank when you've been up since 5:30. These are gluten-free chocolate chip cookies that my amazing boo made for me. He is such a great cook. And he just treats me. He's so nice. Oh my goodness, I love him. And yeah, that's looking at me, tempting me, and I'm just like, could you tempt me more, please? Because I'm not really tempted. I'm gonna try some water. I haven't really drunk water today. Sometimes water for me and like sore throats don't get along. Yeah, like that made my throat feel a little bit funky. Notice how I'm deliberately. No, I am sidetracking. No. Okay. It would make sense to me. Oh, but this means that there's going to be 2 of the longer things. Because we've got... Okay. That's Sunday for now. Because, like, waking up Sunday morning and doing, like, a nice little self-affirmative little post thing. Like, that could be nice, you know? Like, hey, we're all doing our best. Just breathe. I basically posted that the other day. As you can see, just deep and inspiring thoughts. Not really! It's thoughts from a goblin! We take what we get.